Ready, Howie?
Yeah.
You know, watching the video yesterday, there's a lot of really good things on that video. Starting with our quarterback, Lamar Jackson, played really well. You know, had 30 completions out of 46 attempts. Did things like get the protection set, not have a sack, throw the ball away, which is something was one of our goals going in, that when we were out of the pocket and there was no possible way to get yards or get a completion, to throw the ball away and save that yardage. I thought he did a really good job of that. He made throws scrambling out and finding our scramble rule guys, did a good job moving and getting open and catching the balls that way. And then when the game was on the line, really did a great job of getting the ball, perfect throws for touchdown and help us win the game. So really impressed with his. I think people have told me it's the fourth highest game in school history, and first time we had 30 pass completions without a sack or an interception. So obviously he played extremely well. Now I really liked our special teams. Thought we did a great job on special teams, starting with our kickoff cover. We had 5 times where we kept them inside the 21-yard line, forced a turnover, and guys were flying around and playing fast and hitting and kicked the ball well, with the exception of the one time. And that really helped us. It really helped the field position and certainly helped us win the game. We also had 2 really good returns. Seth Dawkins and Reggie. Looked like Reggie was going to score on the one and just, you know, missed it. But that's a really good job. And then a great punt at the end of the game, you know, to get the field flipped and give us the opportunity to win. So I was really happy. I know we won on special teams. It's great to see Trayvon Young out there, flying around, playing hard. He graded out really high, you know, a couple sacks and a couple pass deflections. Wish he would have caught one of them. I'll have to get him on the jugs machine this week and make sure we get that interception. But he just played really hard and fast, and even on the touchdown by Stacy Thomas, it was his pressure of the quarterback that caused the throw and allowed us to catch the ball and run in the end zone. So, you know, you can't say, I really can't tell everybody here how happy I am for him, because I know what he went through and how hard he worked at it, how hard it was on him, and it's been a 2-year process to get back. So it's just great to see that happen. The rest of our defense, I thought, played well. You know, we didn't stop them all the time, but when you get in that fourth quarter and the game was on the line, we came up huge. We were able to play a lot of players. You know, we played 8, 9 defensive linemen. It rotated in, and that allowed us to stay fresh and be able to put the pressure on people at the end of the game. And got a lot of young guys in the game, and that was good to see too. Trayvon Smith had a huge play with the interception in the end zone. You know, it's one thing to be disciplined on the read and to know what to do, and then it's another thing to go up and make that interception and show that athletic ability. So that was great to see. But we do have some things to clean up, starting with penalties and you know, fumbles. You got to score when you get to the 1-yard line. We're certainly going to work hard on those things. We're going to work hard on a lot of things to get ready for this weekend to go on the road and play a North Carolina team that looks good on video. You know, they look good on video. They run the ball well. You got 2 quarterbacks again to prepare for. Defensively, they got a lot of experience. During the video on from last year and this year, and that's a lot of the same players playing, particularly at linebacker and in the secondary. So we just have to have a great week of preparation, improve. I know a lot of people have said that you improved the most from week 1 to week 2. I don't know how that's ever been measured, but I do know that I hope it works this week, that we make the most improvement ever from week 1 to week 2. So with that, I'll just open up for questions.
When you talk to the team, do you talk about the good things they did, or you emphasize what you got to fix?
Of course we talk about the good things. You know, like I said, you know, when you watch the video, and what we actually did is we brought them in at 6:30 this morning and watched the video because we don't have school today. So yesterday was their day off, and then we're able to lift and run today. So we took advantage of the day off and brought them in early. But yeah, I mean, they watch. you know, they get excited to see the good plays, and then we correct the bad plays. But, you know, it really, when you put the video on, we did a lot of really good things.
You talked a little bit about facing two quarterbacks against Purdue and how you may have that opportunity against North Carolina. Having had that experience against the Boilermakers, does it help the defense any going into this second game where there's some uncertainty at the Tar Heels quarterback?
Well, I think it'll help us on our film preparation, and we've been through it before where you have to really understand what they're attempting to do when each quarterback's in the game. You know, so that's something we've been through. You know, we even split the video that way. We have all our players watch it that way of which quarterback's in, what's their tendencies, what they like to do. So it's something that we've been through. So it should help us, yes.
You see, percentage-wise, tomorrow was much more accurate this game than it was last season, but it also seemed that his throws were more precise in the leading guys, hitting them in stride, that sort of thing. Is that what you saw, and was there a technical adjustment that he's made?
Yeah, definitely. He did. He put some balls in small windows. His accuracy allowed us to get yards after the catch, and also allowed us to you know, score on the nice throw in the end zone there. He's doing a real nice job with his sets. And when he sets, he gets online and he's really accurate. But I was proud about all the other things that he did, understanding what coverages they were. You know, there was even one time where he checked the protection, and we weren't really in the right protection, but he had the right reason to check the protection. They blew the coverage completely. You know, so he did the right thing. So just his knowledge and his confidence to do that. You know, sometimes as a young quarterback, like say a year ago, you would see things, but then you just didn't really believe it and do it. Now when he sees it, he believes it. He knows exactly what he wants to do and take advantage of it. And, you know, we had to throw the ball in that game. We had to throw it a lot. One reason was they were trying to stop us from running it. So we committed to throwing it, and it was great to see that we could get those completions and those plays and continue to move the ball and not just rely on big plays. You know, last year throwing the ball was a lot about big plays, but this time we were able to be consistently getting hands and catching balls.
I mean, I know you said it's kind of impossible to quantify week 1 to week 2 improvement, but has it been your experience that you can generally learn a lot more from the first game film as opposed to previous scrimmages and
Oh, definitely, yeah. You know, it's to get out there and experience it, and then watch the video of it. You definitely learn a lot more than a scrimmage. You know, there's a lot more pressure on our players. Certainly will help our young guys, and you know, I think we will get better this week in practice. We definitely need to.
Did any of those young guys surprise you with how they played in game 1?
I mean, I really liked how Dorian Etheridge played. He's really fast out there. He doesn't hesitate at all. He made a couple mistakes, but when he makes a mistake, he's going full speed and doing it. I thought Trayshawn did a really nice job. Mekhi Becton did a really nice job in pass protection. You know, didn't give up any edges, punched and timed his punch, and you know, is really good technically on it. He needs to get better in blocking the run, and you know, utilizing his strength in the run blocking. But you know, he definitely did that. Corey Reed did a great job in special teams for us, and he's going to, you know, continue to get more reps in the offense. You know, once he can learn the signals and know everything that's going on out there.
Is there a specific drill you do to address false starts and simulate crowd noise, that sort of thing?
Yeah, we do. We do. 2 weeks of headaches out there at practice, you know. The issue on that was that when they were stemming, Robbie would recall the fronts. And so when he was talking and trying to alert everybody else what the recall of the front was, is when the ball was supposed to be snapped. So even though we on the sideline could hear the clap, they could hear it on TV, he was in the middle of saying things. So it's an experience thing where we need to be able to understand that we'll know what the front is if they stem that late, and then we just have to sort it out and block it.
Bobby, maybe early in the week, any update on Jair?
No, I mean, nothing more than yesterday. So, but just, we'll see how the week goes.
You've been back to UNC now, this is your 4th year. Being here for that long, what are some of the benefits you're seeing, or what are some of the expectations you have for the program? You know, does it change as you stay at a program longer, and what's the payoff on something like that?
Not really sure I understand the question.
I'm not really sure I understand it either. It's something I was asked to bring up, but
first and foremost, it's really, I think, in recruiting, there's been a lot of benefits, and our coaches are doing a great job. The players that have come here from those areas and had success and, you know, been able to experience what we told them they would experience are helping us a lot in recruiting. I do believe that the expectations of our coaching staff, our players, our fans, our administration, you know, are to compete for a national championship. And, you know, last year we were there for 11 weeks, talked about it, and then we dropped off the face of the earth and didn't finish the way we wanted to finish. I think the game last Saturday night will be something that will really help this team. We had to compete, we had to fight, we had to stick together. We had leaders show up. You know, K.S. McNeil took over and did a great job of leadership for the offense. And that all carries over. Way more than, you know, our opener a year ago where you just blow people out and everybody smiles and pats themselves on the back. So I would much rather have a game like we had the other night than what we did a year ago.
How would you rate the rushing attack against Purdue?
Not what we need. You know, not what we need. But, you know, we did have to throw the ball, and we committed to throwing the ball. So sometimes running the ball is about attitude and wanting to do it too. So we did make some nice runs in the second half. We were able to get Reggie through there on a couple of the down plays and one touchdown, another one where he got one-on-one with the safety, but not enough. We need to improve on that.
You mentioned the kicking game. On the kickoffs, you were angling that, the one that went out. I mean, is that just something that he barely missed that one, it seemed like, and those kind of happen. I know you don't want those, but
yeah, one of the things that he's been doing a great job of, and we're working hard at it, is we're trying to put the ball on the goal line between the numbers and the sideline, and trying to improve on our accuracy from a year ago. Or a year ago, it was just about, you know, getting it down close to the goal line. He has the strength now, so we're working harder on the accuracy. On that one, he just gave it a little extra little chunk to it, like you do on the golf course.
yeah, true.
You know.
That's true.
And I do.
You're talking about yards after the catch. Is there some way to quantify how many you had in that game and how that compares to?
Yeah, we have the stats and statistics. I don't have them with me right now, but we did a nice job in yards after catch. Not nearly what we want to do, but we did do a nice job of running with the ball after the catch and making yards after we caught the ball. We also do it with the running backs on yards after contact. We usually have a good competition going on, but the running backs didn't get enough touches the other night.
Do you see a dramatic difference between what you had Saturday and typically last year?
I'd have to look and see, but, you know, I think there were some games last year where we had some big, long runs after the catch. We didn't get the big, long one, but we did do a good job of getting yards downfield and being, you know, good at the tight turn. One of the things you got to do in this league is when you catch the ball, tight turn and get vertical. I can only think of one time we didn't do that, where we actually lost a yard after the catch.
Bobby, after watching the tape again, what do you think of Fitzpatrick?
I thought he did a really nice job. You know, he also did a good job of blocking out there and playing hard. But the thing that was good to see was the first catch down the middle was that him and Lamar were exactly on the same page. They both saw the coverage, they both knew what was going to happen, and, you know, it was perfectly thrown and caught. With the touchdown pass, they were both exactly on the same page. Another thing that we worked on throughout the week. And, you know, he had to beat the corner and the safety to get the ball in there, and Des had to quick tuck it, which he did. The option route was a really nice job by Lamar, because he started on the other side and then popped back, which is a drill we work on, and Des was right where he needed to be. He did a nice job of catching it and getting vertical after the catch there too. So And I had another catch in the first part of the game that I thought he did a nice job, but I can't picture it right now.
But-
How do you address fumbles? You probably said about everything that a coach can say at this point
Yeah.
over the course of games. What do you do?
Yeah, well, we know we can't reach the ball out over the goal line. You know, that's something that kids see on TV and they try to do. But, you know, we've always had, every team has issues with that. You know, sometimes you worry about it, you fumble it before it crosses the plane and it goes out of bounds and it's a touchback. Sometimes if you're going down and they can't see whether you're down, they're gonna call it a fumble and let the video overturn it. So you just can't do that. You know, the other one where Jalen, he just needs to tuck the ball away a little quicker and get both hands over it. But that was a good defensive play. You know, you can't take that away from the linebacker there. He hit the ball exactly and did what he's been coached to do too. So sometimes that does happen.
Neutral site there in Indy, what did you think of the atmosphere at the game?
I thought it was great. Yeah, I thought it was great. I was very proud of our fans and our crowd. You know, the only issue was getting home. There was a lot of traffic and a lot of fog on the way back.
It's been a while, but you know, in 04 you played in Carolina. What do you remember about the stadium there, or what do you know about their stadium?
I'm getting pretty old to remember way back then.
It was a shutout.
Yeah, it was a good game. Actually, I do remember it a lot. You know, came out and hit Montrell on the first play of the game. Stephon was really accurate. We had this little freshman running back that finished the game for us, handed him the ball about 5 to 7 times in a row. He made a lot of guys miss, ran over a couple guys. He was number 33. His name was Colby Smith. So yeah, I remember that game pretty well. In the second half, he handed the ball to Eric Shelton. He ran down on a lead play for a touchdown. So our defense did a great job of getting off the field on third downs. You know, I don't know if they converted a third down, but I don't remember much about the stadium. I do remember that color of jersey that they wear.
You said that Purdue looked like they were committed to stopping the run more than anything else. Is that something you anticipate other teams doing, or do you think that's just more Purdue specific?
Yeah, you know, that'll be interesting in this game because, you know, they played against a team the other night or the other morning, noon our time, I guess, that really threw the ball. And they worked extremely hard on their pass defense, and they did a good job of their pass defense. And how that'll correlate to how they play us, it'll be interesting to see.
What are your thoughts on the ACC going into it this year? You know, overall strength or however you want to look at it.
Just worried about us, man. Just trying to get us better. You know, we know it's a competitive conference. Obviously, with Clemson winning the national championship last year, and how strong Florida State's always been, you know, and teams just keep getting better. I think it's going to be a great conference, very competitive. You know, I think that the coach in North Carolina has done a great job there. Certainly built that program. They did lose a lot of guys off their team last year. They were a heavy senior team and had some really big wins last year. So, but they've got guys that have been in the system, and it's a very good system that they run. So it doesn't take them that long if they've been in it to get going.
Florida State lost its quarterback in week 1. Texas A&M lost an incredible game last night. As a coach, how do you rally a team from that kind of experience?
How are they going to rally?
How would you? I mean,
I'm hoping we don't have to.
Disaster.
You know, really what you do, and obviously we were through it a couple of years ago, you know, when we started out 0-3 and had some tough losses. You just stick to what you believe in and work on getting better. And that's what I was really proud of that team, was that we got better as the year went on, kept improving, kept competing. The leadership kind of changes around a little bit on the team. And the guys that really cared the most took over the leadership. And by the end of the year, you know, we beat A&M in the bowl game. So it's just the ability to improve and practice is something that you have to be sold on. And I think our coaching staff and our strength staff and our players that understand the grind and are sold on, let's go to practice and get better.
what's your overall assessment of how the defense looked? First game against kind of a complicated offense, Peterson communicating and all that sort of thing, getting them
They
ready.
did a really good job. Yeah, you know, we had a little lull in the second quarter, but the rest of the game, they did a really good job. And when the game was on the line in the fourth quarter, we were at our best, and our guys played hard, did things right, and, you know, that allowed us to win the game.
The play with Alexander on the missed kick, missed field goal, did he have the green light, or was that just instinct where he picked up the ball? And is that going to change anything on field goal defense?
Yeah, that was an error. That was a mistake. You know, we have guys on video that are calling Peter. You know, first of all, it was a great block, and Drew Bailey did an excellent job of blocking the field goal there. We penetrated, took 3 steps, got his hand up exactly like you teach it. He did it perfect. And then we got guys, it's Peter. We all know that if the ball crosses the line of scrimmage, we get away from it. Punt, field goal, and if it's on their side, then we try to scoop and score. So it was just an error to do that.
Why is it Peter?
Get away from it, I don't know why.
What's the derivation?
Yeah, you know, I don't know, I don't really understand a lot about defensive coaches. You know, like for an example, when my dad was coaching, everything was ball, and if you intercepted it, it was score. But most of the coaches around the country always teach pass, ball, Oski. I don't know what the heck Oski is. It's kind of a tradition. They also don't know how to count. Okay, so you go across the line and you have, on offense, we call them a 1 technique, a 2 technique, a 3 technique, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on the tight end. And the defensive coaches go with a 1 and a 2, okay, and a 3 technique. Then they go 4-I, 5, and then on the tight end they go 6, and then 7's back inside of the tight end, and 9 back outside of the tight end. So that I heard came from the state of Texas, but I cannot get that one bit at all. And we don't teach it on offense because we like to just keep it right in line.
Texas obviously has some problems.
Yeah, that's some weird stuff right there now. I don't know who ever did. They didn't learn how to count right, that's for sure.
Speaking of defensive coaches, with Peter in the box, does that change anything, or does that just show how confident he is with the guys that he has on his staff on the field?
Yeah, I was a little bit nervous about that just because how during our scrimmages and practices, how much leadership he showed down on the field, how much he handled everything down on the field. So we made sure that we practiced it with him in the box. I think with the experience of Lorenzo and his communication skills and then the other guys we got on the sideline, I've always thought calling plays from the box was a lot easier. You know, I liked doing it when I was an offensive coordinator, and then when I started thinking, hey, maybe I'll get one of these head jobs someday, I talked John L into getting me down on the sideline because we had some, you know, receivers that didn't listen real well, just so I could start calling the game from the sideline. But I've always thought it's easier to call a game from the press box.
Why is that? Sorry.
You can just see more. You see everything, and you can see more, and it's a vantage point, you know. Like, for an example, on Fridays and Thursdays, that's what I work on, is I'm on the sideline working on seeing defenses and seeing things going on, you know, because it's so much easier to see it from the press box.
You said you weren't sure about wearing the glasses. Did that work out all right?
I don't know. I might throw them away. We used to score more from the 1 yard line when I didn't have it. Thank you. Appreciate it.